Hello there, welcome to Monday. Yes, indeed, friends, we're live here on Global Irish Radio. It is August the 17th, 2026, the Daily Crack Show with me, Sean G. Coming at you live from just outside Castlebar in County Mayo. Thanks to our pal, Gerald O'Brien, for the past couple of hours on irishradio.org, and hopefully you'll stick around now for the next hour or so as we bring you up to speed on all that you need to know this Monday to get your week off to a winning start. All the top trending stories, the headlines, chitter-chatter of the nation, there's music, there's gossip, and whatever you're having yourself. Studio@gir.ie if you ever feel the need to get in touch with us here at the program. Yeah, we're halfway through another month, and Monday the 17th is looking at the Christian calendar today. It is the feast day of Our Lady of Knock, which is dear to our heart, given that it is right up the road from us here in County Mayo. And coinciding with all of that is the Knock Novena, which is happening at the moment, and thousands of pilgrims come from all across the country, maybe even all across the world, indeed. And of course this year is extra special, given that it is the 50th anniversary of the Basilica there at Knock, the legacy of the great Monsignor James Horn, who not only built a world-class basilica and shrine to Our Lady of Knock, but also an international airport to bring the pilgrims from all around the world. And of course now it's a thriving international airport here in the west of Ireland. And you know, friends, just before in the run-up to the All-Ireland, when the whole county was going green and red mad, I seen a picture online of the basilica shrouded in green and red, the colours, the Mayo colours. And when I saw that, I felt in my bones that it was an omen. And sure enough, things worked out, as you know. You know the rest. But there you go. That was the moment when I started to believe all things and anything is possible. Enough of the nonsense. Welcome along, friends. Live here on Global Irish Radio, the Irish Diaspora Station. Hope you had a nice weekend. As I say, into the second half of the month now, and it's back to school season right around the corner. Before you know it, the little rascals will be back in school and not causing havoc around the place. It's the teachers I feel sorry for, but there you go. The poor old teachers. They cry more than the youngsters these days. It used to be the kids that'd be not looking forward to going back to school. I have to say, all the kids that I know, all the youngsters around here, they can't wait to get back to school. So isn't it a very different world than when you and I were growing up? But anyway, there you go. That's the world we live in. That's a good thing. It's a soft day here in County Mayo, meaning the rain is back. Yeah, you guessed it. A nice, soft day. But I can tell you, the wasps, they're still angry. Yes, they are. They've been kicked out of the nest. They have to fend for themselves. They have to go find their own honey or whatever it is, the scraps that they live off, your apple pie and your lemonade and stuff like that. But anyway, watch out for the wasps. It's wasp season, as we were telling you on Friday. The blackberries, they're ripe. There's an abundance of blackberries around the place. Just be careful you don't fall into the drain when you're reaching across the briars to catch them. But lovely, an amazing amount of blackberries, and lots of them turning ripe now. They are ripe for the picking, friends. Speaking of picking, we've picked out a lot of good stories to share with you. All that you need to know to get you through your Irish day here on Global Irish Radio. Wherever in the world you are, we connect you with home. We bring in the stories that we're talking about, the stories we probably shouldn't be talking about, and more. So hopefully you'll stay with us for the hour. We get a program that we do these Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's our summer schedule. The Daily Crack. Check out the website, dailycrack.com. Links to the newspapers, the front pages of all our nation's papers, the headlines. A link to the news sites. You can do a deep dive, go behind the headlines. All of that nice stuff. There's links to podcasts. There's a link to Irish radio stations. There's even a link to Crack USA, where we bring it to connect you with publications, Irish American publications. We have it all. We've got you covered. The best crack you'll find anywhere, anytime. dailycrack.com. Check it out. And of course, if you can't listen to the program in its entirety, if you have to rush away for any reason, not to worry. All is forgiven. You can come back to dailycrack.com. We have all previous episodes. This show will be up later on, too, as a podcast. So there you go. Spread the good word, dailycrack.com. Keeping you connected with Mother Ireland Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And when we're not here, when we're not around on Tuesdays and Thursdays, log on to the site. and get the latest updates. So there you go. We've got you covered no matter what. Alrighty, lots happening. It's a busy Monday. Yeah, it sure is. And what a weekend it's been. It's been a great weekend for Irish sport and really has lifted the nation. And our amazing athletes on show, and great accomplishments, great performances in Birmingham, and a rake of medals. Yeah, it's been, as I say, a good weekend. Lots to talk about that, and lots of people feeling good. And you can't help but that we might be... one could be forgiven, let's put it that way, for thinking that we could be on the cusp of greatness when it comes to our athletes here in this country. Of course, the Olympics round the corner, 2028. Well, it's a couple of years away yet, but looks very promising, let's put it that way. And yeah, Kate O'Connor getting the gold medal, that was sensational, wasn't it? We had Mark English on Thursday night, towards the end of last week, Rashida Adeleke. Just amazing stuff. And I see that Kate O'Connor, she celebrated her gold medal with a juicy burger from Five Guys. A little bit of fast food to mark the occasion. What a lovely young lady she is. Very modest and unassuming and all the rest of it. And a sensational athlete as well. So amazing stuff in the world of sport. As you say, our athletes doing us proud across the water in Birmingham. And I have to say, the unsung hero, another guy that should be getting a gold medal. Another guy that should be getting a gold medal this past week from the European Championships is Greg Allen, the RTE commentator. What an amazing job he did, and people have been talking about it. It hasn't gone unnoticed, shall we put it that way. Remarkable absolutely just gripping commentary, that way, and the passion in his voice. He has a great voice, but you know, I have to say, his commentary was exceptional and deserves all the mention that it gets. I said something lovely. I was listening to him on the Brendan O'Connor show over the course of the weekend, the newspaper panel. That's where they get together around the table and discuss with the panel all the stories of the weekend from the Sunday papers. But they opened up with a little segment with Greg Allen, the commentator from the European Championships, joining them live to talk about the week's accomplishments in terms of the sport, the athletes, Kate O'Connor. And he said lovely things about Kate O'Connor, saying that she had an amazing ability to hold her nerve when it counts. Meaning, basically, essentially saying that, you know, when when it calls for it, she has all that physical stamina and the mental stamina to pull off stunning success, as she did, and winning the gold was an example of that. But he had lovely things to say. And in terms of the commentary, we have a little snippet of him doing the commentary from Mark English, which, another high point of the weekend. Here he is in full action. Just listen to this commentary. It's Greg Allen again, and he's commentating on the Mark English performance, which culminated in a gold medal.
Concluded, I just have to trust myself and in my own abilities, and now that's exactly what he has to do. He's in perfect position on the shoulder of Bludek. Barroso and Atawi, the Spanish 1-2, they're in a position to attack, but Mark English looks like he has control, all written across his face. Bludek is doing him a favour by leading them out like this. A decent pace. Mark can cope with a decent pace, and he's in the silver medal position as they come to the 200-metre mark. English is ready to pounce. He's got 4 bronze medals at European level. He has a silver medal as well. He wants to convert to gold. A medal is surely on. Patterson's coming front deep, and so too is Atawi. Does Mark English have another gear to go past Bludek? Atawi is attacking, and Mark English hits the front. It's in the gold medal position for Ireland. It's in front of him. It's gold finally for Mark English. He's done it. What an extraordinary climax to a career. He knows that this is what he's been building towards since he was a World Junior 5th place finisher 14 years ago. The arc has been jagged in the graph of his progress, but he was always destined to be a champion all the way through from that sensational junior career, and now he's a senior champion. He'll climb the top of the podium in a major championship for the first time, and Mark English is the champion, and he did it with style.
Boy, there you go. That is some performance. Not only Mark English getting the gold medal, but also Greg Allen and his commentary there. Absolutely amazing stuff. And some other great commentary from Greg Allen over the course of the weekend as well. It was an amazing weekend. And, there's this feeling that we are on the cusp of greatness in terms of athletics and our athletes here in this country. And when you think about it, well, there's been a lot of investment in the sport, and it seems now to be paying off. But if you think, and I was thinking about it over the course of the weekend, Ireland has very much undergone a metamorphosis. We're no longer, considered a hopeless backward or third world nation. It's easy to remember that 30 years ago, we pretty much were in many respects. And now a lot of those old stereotypes, those labels, they no longer apply. And Ireland actually now affords its youth opportunity and possibilities. Opportunity and possibilities. Two wonderful words in terms of, the youth of a nation. And as I say, no longer, in the old days, when we wanted opportunity or possibilities, we looked to immigration. Lots of people left. These days, you don't need to leave. You can stick around. There is an opportunity right here on our doorstep. And I think it's fair to say not only has investment in the sport and government, funding improved things and the outlook, I think prosperity has improved, our outlook as well and our ability to compete in these at that level, or at this level. We've seen improved education. We've now the ability to travel and understand the world better. We can afford to do so. We have healthier lifestyles. There's fitness centres and gyms all over the place. And only 2 weeks ago, there was a piece in the paper talking about how the youth of the nation are swapping the pub and the nightclubs for the running clubs and the gym. And we have, we're filled with knowledge, desire, drive, and ambition. We're brimming with confidence, I think it's fair to say. And the youth of today, the Irish youth and these athletes, they're absolutely fearless. And we even seen that very much so in evidence with the Mayo team, the young lads who went out to represent their county here in Mayo, and they went out there without the shackles of history or the burden of the past. They went out there, as I say, fearless, full of confidence, brimming with confidence, and delivering. And we're no longer looked down upon, and we don't act in that way either. For a long time, I think we suffer from a lack of confidence in many respects. Nowadays, as I say, the youngsters of this country, those athletes that you've seen on display at the European Championships, they are absolutely brimming with confidence, and they are fearless, and they have drive, they have ambition in abundance, and when they want something, they go get it. And to see their pride in their nation as well when the land, and you can't help but bawling your eyes out when you see that, or you hear the Aran Levine, the national anthem being played, and an Irish athlete on the pole position on the podium. So lovely to see. A very feel-good weekend in terms of what happened in sport this weekend. And as I say, a lot to feel good about. And Kate O'Connor, she has a rake of medals. Over the past 17 months, I think she's accumulated something like 7 medals. Rashida Adeleke, the Tala girl, coming back and getting a rapturous and very warm welcome home with her silver medal. Mark English, who is a doctor and still manages to be top of his game in his sport. And the others as well. There were more. But those are the standout ones. From 1 or 2 I'm missing, but there you go. I'm speaking off the cuff, as it were. But an amazing weekend, and so good for the country, lifts the country up. And the other thing, in addition to the athletes, and in addition to Greg Allen, one other group warrants special mention as well, and that is the supporters. And these athletes will tell you that the support, the support from the Irish in the, where they're competing, it means all the world to them, and it just pushes them, it gives them that extra little bit of oomph to get over the line. So you know what a great weekend to be Irish, and the accomplishments of our athletes over there in Birmingham. And as I say, a lot of people feeling good about the future in terms of what's going to happen down the line for those athletes, and the hope for medals in upcoming competitions, and specifically with one eye on the Olympics there as well. So a good weekend in that regard. Now let's bring you back down to reality and take a look at our papers today. Friends, we're live here on Global Irish Radio, the Irish Diaspora Station, connecting you with home from County Mayo. We're broadcasting live from just outside Castlebar, and we try and keep you up to date with all that's happening here in this lovely country of ours, wherever in the world you are. It's a lot of tragedy on the papers today, and it's almost since a deja vu here in the country, because only a week ago, a very similar thing happened on our motorway. A car going down the wrong way struck another car, and very serious injuries. I don't know if there was fatalities from that particular incident, but this past weekend, again, same thing. Car going down the wrong way intentionally on our motorway. It is absolutely crazy stuff. You could not believe it. And a bunch of youngsters doing it for just thrills and to get clicks and likes on their social media feeds. It's unbelievable stuff. But anyway, on Saturday night into Sunday, a car full of youngsters, five fatalities. They were aged 14 to 16. Kids, 14 to 16, lost their life driving down, as I said, the wrong way on a motorway at the M9. Let's look at the headlines on the the pages today, the front pages of our papers. Motorway madness, says the Irish Daily Mirror. Head-on horror, says the Sun. And horrific. Yeah, that sums it up. That's the headline on today's Irish Daily Star. The tragedy is on the front pages of all of the papers. It's absolute heartbreaking, really. And then they struck another car that was on the way to the airport, 2 adults and a kid, and they're seriously injured. They were on the way to a wedding, I think, and heading abroad for what should have been a happy occasion. Instead, they were struck by an oncoming vehicle at speed on the motorway by youngsters who apparently they'd stolen the car, and they were coming from having committed some burglaries or something like that. It begs the question, 14, 16-year-olds, where are the parents? Where are the parents? And in France nowadays, if the youngsters or kids that age commit crimes, the parents are on the hook, and they have to answer, and they face charges, they face fines, they face penalties. And, you know, you have the social media companies, and they're providing these platforms for these people to share this footage, to get clicks and views and shits and giggles, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's crazy, you know. Again, it comes down to, people verifying their identities online, and if they post something that is of a criminal nature, criminal activity, then they should be easily tracked down and made to answer. If you posted a video that had copyright music or something of that nature, they have the technology to detect it. They wouldn't allow it to go through their checks and balances. But when it's something like this and there's no money involved, they don't seem to give a hoot. And so, you know, these kids, they shouldn't be able to hide behind fake profiles, that kind of stuff. As I say, in France, they crack down on it a lot more. And as I say, I've always said you should not be allowed to have multiple or fake personalities online or fake identities. You can't have it in real life. You can't go around with several different IDs or identities in the real world. And given the significance of the online world and how, very much part it is of life these days, you shouldn't be allowed to have multiple IDs or fake personalities or fake IDs online. So it's a crazy situation. One of the 5 teenagers killed in Sunday's crash in the M9 had previously posted footage of himself driving the wrong way on an Irish motorway. And then over the course of the weekend, footage surfaced, of other daring escapades of these youngsters. One of the clips was posted to an account associated with one of the teens killed on Sunday's horror crash, and the clip shows the teen brazenly descending off the motorway with the caption writing "wrong side" with a string of emojis. So, it's absolutely reckless behaviour, it's crazy behaviour, and this is it doesn't end well, as you can see. So that's the story that's dominating all of the front pages today. As I say, we have a happy stories, and that's relating to the activities of the accomplishments of our athletes over the weekend, and then that contrasts with the craziness and the horrific nature of what happened on the motorway over the course of the weekend. 5 lives were lost, kids, 14 to 16-year-olds, and again, I come back to it, the parents, where are the parents? Shouldn't we have curfews? Should these kids be allowed to be on social media? It certainly ignites, or it warrants debate, no question about that. But that's as I say, the story. That's the story that dominates all of our front pages, friends, this Monday. It's not a happy story. And initially there were 4 youngsters reported lost or missing or dead, and then when they removed the car, they found another one under the car. It was a stolen car. They get these high-powered vehicles, and they just create havoc. There's another incident in the paper as well, and I told you about this on Friday, I believe it was. The latest craze is where these youngsters they're getting these cars, these high-powered cars, and they're doing daring things like ramming into police cars and then getting out the car and doing a runner. and the guards can't catch up with them, that kind of thing. And the same thing happened over the course of the weekend. The patrol car was rammed by a driver of a stolen car. It happened in the Leopardstown area of South County Dublin, and officers responded to reports of a car driving dangerously on the M50, and of course they showed up and went after it. What did they do? They signalled for them to pull over. The youngsters didn't pull over. In fact, they turned the car on the guards and they rammed the police car, and then they did a runner, got out of the car and did a runner. I know a lot of this stuff, as I said, is it's appearing on sort of TikTok and Snapchat, and people are getting a thrill out of, posting it and a thrill out of viewing it and stuff like that. It's crazy stuff. So I think a crackdown is in order, because, when innocent lives are involved, then you get that family on the way to the airport and a young guy coming home from work the previous week. And these youngsters are absolutely crazy and reckless. It's got to stop. GlobalIrishRadio.com. We are the Irish Diaspora Station. We bring you all the news, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Great programs coming your way throughout Monday. Tom should be back from his escapades, or his visit to Milwaukee Irish Fest. Yes, it was Milwaukee Irish Fest over the weekend, and lots of stuff on social media. Well attended, and the weather cooperated too, and there was a lot of people there. Lots of great music as well. As I said, the mother of all Irish Fests. There's lots of other great Irish fests too, but that's considered to be, as I say, the mother of them all, and lots of people go up to Milwaukee. They come from all across the country, all across the world indeed, and lots of visiting Irish musicians performing out there. And there's it's so much more than a music festival. There's heritage and culture, all that stuff. We went through a lot of things that were happening up there this year. But anyway, there was even an exhibition on Halloween, and they were promoting a lot of the events back here in Ireland that take place, because Halloween has become a very big holiday, a big celebration. That's where it all started. Halloween began in this country from our pagan traditions and the rest of it, and there's a lot of things and festivals and stuff that have sprung up marking and celebrating the pagan festival of Halloween. So they had an exhibition on all of that at the Milwaukee event this year as well. But anyway, there you go. Tom should be back and in studio tonight. Tom at GIR.ie for your requests and dedications. It's Monday, so we check in with David Marks from Glasgow for the Sounds Irish radio program. Lots of great Irish music, a little bit of trad sprinkled in there as well, and the new releases. That's 6 to 8 tonight Irish time here on Global Irish Radio. And Finbar will be back later on tonight as well. Yes, he will. Finbar's back later on tonight with another chance to catch this week's Raggle Taggle. Old, rare recordings that you wouldn't find anywhere else. And then, the Rebel Hour. Get in touch with your inner rebel, because starting tonight we have the Irish Rebel Music Hour. That's an hour of rebel songs. The songs of a revolution, if you want to call it that way. Great Irish rebel songs. And we'll be sharing those with you on the platform between 11 and 12 tonight. Also Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursdays, 11 to 12 is the Rebel Hour here on Global Irish Radio. So watch out for that. Speaking of rebel music, let's take a rebel song, shall we? This one's from Patsy Watchorn and Irish Soldier Laddie. They will be back. We've lots still to talk about, because Rose Tralee kicking off tonight, and there's another couple of Kerry boys in the news as well. We'll tell you all about that too. So keep it right here. DailyCrack.com.
Was one morning, July, I was walking to Tipperary, and I heard a battle cry from the mountains overhead. As I looked up in the sky, saw an Irish soldier laddie. He looked at me right fearlessly and said, "Will you stand in the band like a true Irishman, and go and fight the forces of around? Will you march with all wheels to an Irish battlefield, or tonight we go to 3 Wexford town?" Said I to that soldier boy, "Won't you take me to your captain? It would be my pride and joy for to march with you today. My young brother fell at court, and my son had an escorty, and to the noble captain I would say, will you stand in the band like a true Irishman, and go and fight the forces of the crown? Will you march with all wheels to an Irish battlefield, or tonight we'll go to 3 Wexford town?" As we march back again in the shadow of the evening, with our banners flying low to the memory of our dead, we return now to our homes, but without our soldier laddie. Yet I never will forget these words you said. Will you stand in the pan like a true Irishman and go and fight the forces all around? Will you march with all you to an Irish battlefield, or tonight we'll go to free old Wexford town? Will you stand in the pan like a true Irishman and go and fight the forces all around? Will you march with all you to an Irish battlefield, or tonight we'll go to free old Wexford town? Or tonight we'll go to free old Wexford town.
Listening to Sean G on Global Irish Radio.
Hello, all you Global Irish Radio listeners out there, wherever you may be. It's myself, Finbar, here in beautiful northern Colorado, inviting you along to the Raggle Taggle Celtic Folk Show, streaming here live every Monday and Friday evening at 10 p.m. Irish time. We are guaranteed to hear some rare old recordings from the old country and beyond. And it's all here on globalirishradio.com, the home of the Raggle Taggle. That's right, friends. Finbar's Raggle Taggle tonight, 10 o'clock here on Global Irish Radio. Watch out for that. And then immediately after, 11 o'clock, it is the Irish Rebel Hour and great music. And you just heard a great Irish Rebel song, Irish Soldier Laddie, Patsy Watchorn, on the program this Monday. If you're just tuning our way, welcome along, friends. If you're new to the program, a special warm welcome to you. A special Academy of Fortune. 100,000 welcomes to you. And if you're a returning visitor, welcome back. You can't believe you came back. But thanks for joining us here on the program. Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays for the foreseeable future. That little hour that we share together here on Global Irish Radio. And then anytime at the dailycrack.com. There's lots happening. It's a busy, busy Monday. And that little thing that happens in Tralee, County Kerry, around about this time, rooted in tradition, it's the Rose Tralee International Festival, and it continues. It continues to unite people. That's what it does. Not just across Ireland, but around the world, celebrating Irish identity, heritage, and the enduring links that bring Irish communities everywhere together. That's what it's all about, friends. It's a coming together of Irish people of Irish heritage, celebrating their Irishness. And it's wonderful work on behalf of the International Rose Festival. And, you know, it's one of those great examples of the diaspora coming together. They do it every year, and the festival continues to go from strength to strength. It's still as relevant now as it was way back in 1959 when it started. There's some good trivia for you. When was the first Rose Tralee contest? It was 1959, yep. It's not a lovely girls contest. They're very eager to stress that. It's also not a beauty pageant. No, it's a celebration of women of Irish heritage. Alice O'Sullivan was the very first Rose, and as I say, she was crowned the first international Rose back in 1959. Any idea how many girls were in the contest that year? And any idea how many are in the contest tonight, this year? Well, 5 Roses participated in the very first Rose Tralee, and the Dublin Rose, as I say, Alice O'Sullivan was the winner back then. Nowadays, it is streamed in over 102 countries. Yep. Lots of people, the folks that couldn't make it to support their Rose, watch from afar. And as I say, 102 countries. That's like the Eurovision Song Contest. Anyway, just better. By the way, married women were allowed to participate in 2021. They have a reputation of keeping with the times, some would say. The upper age limit, by the way, if you're thinking about entering into the Rose of Tralee competition, is 30 years old. Catherine Thomas and Dáithí O'Shea will be presenting once again tonight. They added Catherine Thomas to presenter duties in 2023. Dáithí has been doing it for about 15 years. And I was just looking at some of the previous presenters over the years. There's quite a few, actually. Some of the ones that you'll probably recognise include Joe Lynch, who was Dinny in Glenroe. Terry Wogan, the Bow Terry, presented it too. I didn't realise that, but he did. He would have been good at that. Kathleen Watkins presented it. She was Gay Byrne's wife. Of course, Gable presented it for many, many years. Derek Davis, Marty Whelan, Ryan Tuberty and Ray Darcy all had stints presenting the Rose of Tralee Festival, or the televised event. As I say, all the girls ready to rock and roll tonight, and some of them do talent pieces, but it's always interesting to watch, and that's our recommendation on what to watch on the Owl Television tonight. Yes. So that's happening from about the Rose Tralee, 8 o'clock tonight on your TV screens here in Ireland. As I mentioned, it's streaming on the Player and as many as all around the world. 102 countries it streamed in last year, so you can watch it from anywhere in the world. So on a Monday night in August, what else would you be doing? And there's always some, it's fun, and it's nice. It's nice television, and Dahi and Catherine do a nice job there, and they have backstage reporter as well. So that's the Rose Tralee. Watch out for that tonight. Nice pictures of the girls all week last week at the different events leading up to tonight. And of course, yesterday they were at the beach somewhere. They're all pictured making a splash in the water. Must be down around Dingle or somewhere. But anyway, there you go. That's the Rose Tralee on your screens tonight. And tomorrow night, then there's 32 this year, 32 roses. And, the winner will be crowned tomorrow night. GlobalIrishRadio.com. If you haven't already downloaded the app, we certainly encourage you to do that while it's still available in the app stores at the iOS Store and the Google Play Store. Download the app, take us with you. Check out our schedule. Lots of great programs on there from different parts of the world. Just like the Rose Tralee Festival or Committee unites the diaspora, we too try to bring the Global Irish together at globalirishradio.com. So check that out. Anyway. Now, from one Kerry story to another Kerry story. The Healy Rays. You know them boyos? There's a documentary, and I always usually tell you it's our pick of the day usually to watch on the telly on a Wednesday night. Last week I didn't tell you about it because the one that was on didn't seem too interesting, to be quite honest. It was about a Russian spy or something like that. It wasn't very Irish. Well, I didn't think it was very good. But anyway, a lot of the documentaries that are on are usually pretty good on a Wednesday night, and the one that's coming up this week has been much talked about already, and indeed featured very prominently in the discussions on radio and television and in our Sunday papers. We're talking about the Healy Rays, and it's a documentary. It's called The Healy Rays, Blood, Sweat and Tears. It's the Irish version of Dallas, basically. Feuding politicians, they're brothers, yes, and had a bit of a falling out in recent times. They have their own little dynasty down there in Kerry. Interesting boyos. Michael Healy Ray says he wished his brother would have told him what he was going to say way back, when was it, round about the fuel protest. Well, here's the deal. Here's the backdrop or the background to it. You had the fuel protest. Everybody's out on the streets and a lot of unhappy people, that kind of thing. And Danny Healy Ray came out and called on the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach to step down, which ordinarily wouldn't be a big problem, but given that Danny Healy Ray and Michael Healy Ray had agreed to support the government, and Michael Healy Ray was in the government in the sense that he was a junior minister, it was complicated, you know? And Michael Healy Ray felt he had no choice, but he referred to that speech, that interview that Danny gave with a Kerry radio station as a Scud missile that kind of broke up everything in terms of his participation in a government, and so he felt he was left with no option but to resign. That's what he did. He was involved in negotiating the concessions for people in terms of the fuel relief package that the government put together, and then 2 days after that he stepped down. And he said, he just wished Danny would have told him what he was going to say. But I don't think even Danny knew what he was going to say, because Danny has a habit of just opening his mouth and stuff comes out. It's not very strategic or not very thought out, if you know what I mean. But so that's the story, and so all of this is kind of documented, and it captured apparently very nicely in this upcoming documentary that will air on our TV screens Wednesday night after the main evening news. I suspect you can watch it on the Player as well. The Healy Rays, Blood, Sweat and Tears. And as I say, Danny, at the best of times he sounds like halfway between incoherent and intoxicated, and his appearance not much better. But anyway, he's a very successful local politician. this is what he sounds like. This is him in an exchange in the Dáil. To give you an idea of what he's all about.
Deputy McSherry, control yourself.
There you go, control yourself. The Can Corner telling Deputy McSherry to control himself. But he was being attacked by the pit bulls of Kerry, the Healy-Rae brothers, Danny and Michael Healy-Rae. So that was them in an exchange in the Dáil. But I have to tell you, they are consistent poll toppers in Kerry and very good local politicians, and they understand their constituents, that kind of thing. So they consistently do well politically or electorally in the county. And somebody was saying over the course of the weekend that, you know, this is an example of the Healy-Raes. There was, Danny was in a restaurant or something like that, and the restaurant owner was giving out about the no parking signs or something that was affecting his business, and his customers couldn't get parking. And so Danny got onto the case right away, and within a couple of days, all of the no parking signs, the parking was freed up and the signs removed and stuff like that. And somebody says to Danny, how did you manage to get them to do that so quickly? And Danny said, I did it myself. Yeah, that's the kind of politician, that's the kind of lads they are. So that's the Healy-Raes, blood, sweat and tears. I suspect you'll enjoy that one. As I say, they are well-known political operatives from Kerry. GlobalIrishRadio.com is the Daily Crack Hour with me, Sean G, here on GlobalIrishRadio.com. GIO.ie is a shortcut to get you to the same spot. Now, podcasts on thedailycrack.com. We link you to the most listened to podcasts here in Ireland. Do you like listening to podcasts? Nice thing to do. Get yourself outside and escape the world and bring your earphones and your phone or whatever it is. And get a podcast. Hopefully the Daily Crack. But if not, we have linked you to the most popular podcast here in this country, the Top 10 Countdown. And it kind of gives you an insight into our mindset, our thinking at any given time. So when there's, big... It's the silly season right now. There's not happening a whole lot happening in the world of politics, so there's not too many political podcasts ranking in the top 10 at the minute. But with the sports and the events happening at the European Championships, I suspect there's plenty for you to listen to there. True crime, self-help, all that nice stuff. You get the picture. And there's a new podcast that may be of interest to you coming on stream. May already be on stream. May be available to listen to, and it's the ex-billionaire businessman Sean Quinn. Remember him? He was Ireland's richest man for a long, long time, and then there's the crash and all that stuff, and things kind of fell asunder for him. But anyway, ex-billionaire businessman Sean Quinn has launched a personal website and a podcast series in a fresh bid to change the narrative surrounding his controversial legacy. You know, he got a lot of bad publicity, and there was a lot of bad things that happened in the aftermath of the collapse of the Quinn Group. And up until, as I said, the crash and the failure of the banks in this country and all of that stuff, they were very well respected, and Sean Quinn was highly respected businessman in this country, but then things kind of went pear-shaped, didn't they? Well, anyway, this is Sean Quinn's attempt to kind of, I suppose, reframe his legacy and stuff like that. As I say, he's once the richest person in Ireland. Now, I should tell you that with regards to this new website and this podcast, he has attached a caveat to the account of his rise and eventual downfall. Many of the matters discussed is his version of events. And he warns you, his disclaimer, his version of events remain the subject of different opinions and interpretations. So it's his version of events, his view of things, and he does acknowledge that there are differing opinions and interpretations of what actually happened, that kind of thing. So he's thrown that in there. But if you want to check it out, SeanQuinnOfficial.ie. It's a brand new, sleek website that he has launched. Again, kind of trying to reframe the narrative surrounding his rise and fall and his, I suppose, legacy, if you will. So if you want to check that out, you look for a new podcast to add to your listening, go to the website there, SeanQuinnOfficial.ie, and you can read a story. And it is a rather interesting story, and as a well-respected businessman around the border counties, and he brought a lot of opportunities in that area as well, but as you know, things happened later on, and, he fell out of favour with people, and there was lots of court cases and bankruptcies and some, ugly episodes, which we won't go into, but you can, I'm sure, read all about it there at SeanQuinnOfficial.ie. Some people will find that of great interest. Still raining here in the west of Ireland. The summer is over. I love how they do it now. They've got us, they're tricking us. A lot of these news sites and stuff like that, they put a headline up there. What are the chances of a return of the heatwave? Or Met Éireann's take on the return of another heatwave. And of course it's just clickbait. You read through the whole story and there's nothing in there but rain. So a lot of people indeed, the farmers and stuff like that, and the people that haven't been able to use their hosepipes will be, I suppose, happy that the rain has returned. It never really went too far away from us here in the west of Ireland. We weren't suffering the same drought conditions as other parts of the country, but lots of people welcoming the rain across the country, where they had particularly, as to say, very, very dry weather. Yeah, the recent spell of dry and sunny weather looks set to finally come to an end, with spells of heavy rainfall set to lash the country throughout this week. So there you go, you better dig out the umbrella. Hope you didn't throw it away. Ireland has enjoyed, as you know, a long period of sizzling temperatures and clear blue skies recently, which on one occasion seen the thermometer shoot up as far as 31 degrees Celsius. Now, I did not think the mercury could go that far in the thermometer. I didn't know there was a 31 on the thermometer. We thought those were for other countries, but it did. Anyway, according to Met Éireann and their latest forecast, the end of the dry and sunny spell is in sight, and rain is forecast to fall all across the country. Heavy showers expected in some areas. So there you go. The heat wave well and truly over, and the rain, if it hasn't reached you yet, it's on its way. If you're one of those people wishing for rain up the country, you're getting your wish will come through this week. Now, I told you about the Rolls Royce from the 1920s, or approximately around about that era, that was going on display over the weekend to celebrate to commemorate the things, the events that happened or unfolded at Bale-na-Bláth. There's a lovely picture in the paper today of that armoured Rolls Royce. They're only one of 13 vehicles. One of 13 such vehicles that were acquired by the Irish state following the Anglo-Irish Treaty. So that was negotiated. They acquired 13 of these vehicles, and this was used as part of the convoy that Michael Collins was travelling in. So it's very well restored. It looks in pristine condition, and people got to see it over the course of the weekend. And it's a sight to behold, an armoured armoured vehicle in the form of a Rolls Royce. So lots of people pictured here checking it out on the paper today. So there you go. Now, and of course, the anniversary of Michael Collins' assassination coming up. Is it the 22nd? Later this week. We might have to play that great song, Michael Collins. We'll definitely be playing it on the Rebel Hour. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. Remember, it's the Irish Rebel Hour featuring the songs of a revolution here on Global Irish Radio. Now, here's an interesting story that caught my eye over the course of the weekend. A woman who stole a spoon. When I seen that she stole a spoon from the restaurant, it caught my attention immediately, because we have some people, friends of ours, Margaret and the like, who bring their own spoons and silverware into restaurants. They're kind of germaphobes, if you know what I mean. It was okay while one of them was doing it, but now most of them do it. But anyway, we won't go into that. The story is, though, a woman who stole a spoon from a Wexford hotel 11 years ago is urged to come forward. Not to bring the spoon back or anything like that. They're not out to get her or anything like that. This is a good news story, friends. She took the spoon accidentally, and she already returned the spoon. Yes, she did. She realised very soon after her visit to the hotel that she had inadvertently taken the spoon with her. She didn't just return the spoon at the time. She penned a lovely poem surrounding her, documenting the taking of the spoon and her, I suppose, the inadvertent nature of the spoon being taken. That kind of thing, if you know what I'm saying. It was the Talbot Hotel in Wexford, and when they received the letter from her and the poem and the spoon, what did they do? They were so touched by the whole thing, and they framed it, and it's on display in the restaurant, and has been since 2015 when the whole thing happened, so about 10, 11 years ago. And recently, they must have been cleaning or doing something, and it came to their attention again, and they were reminded of that wonderful, that nice incident that happened all those years ago. And so they decided that they'd try and track her down and invite her back to the hotel for afternoon tea and even an overnight stay at the hotel. So they put out the word. If anybody knew or knows, Catherine Leggett is her name. And again, the story goes back to 2015 when she was there visiting. Accidentally took the spoon home with her, but was feeling guilty. Not only returned the spoon, but penned a poem all about the incident. And the hotel, for their part, when they received it, they put the poem up in a nice picture frame alongside the spoon. A good talking point if for anyone to be sitting in the restaurant. You know how you'd be a married couple sitting there and not talking. It'd give you something to talk about, wouldn't it? But anyway, they put out the call and they want her back. They want her to come back for a return visit. Some would say, the skeptic in me would say that it's an exercise in content marketing and getting attention. That's what people do these days, but it certainly got them attention. And anyway, if you know Catherine, she's welcome to come back. She just can't take any spoons with her. Don't be taking the spoons, but she is invited back. I thought that was a nice little gesture by the hotel. All is forgiven in that regard. So there you go. GlobalIrishRadio.com. We have a quick commercial break to take, and we'll be back. We've got more. Don't go away.
Global Irish Radio is excited to partner with 950 WROL-AM, the Spirit of Boston, to bring you portions of the Irish Hit Parade, providing the soundtrack to your weekend. Join Paul Sullivan on Saturdays 3 to 7 p.m. Irish time and famous Seamus Mulligan on Sunday 7 to 10 p.m. for a feast of Irish music. Streaming live from Boston right here on GlobalIrishRadio.com.
Good deeds are great things, and a single good deed can grow into a forest of kindness. At treedeeds.com, you can dedicate a tree in someone's honour and make a lasting impact on the planet. Each tree is deeded and comes with a personalised certificate, perfect for birthdays, holidays, memorials, or just because. Celebrate life, give back to nature, and leave a legacy that grows. Visit treedeeds.com today. That's treedeeds.com. Rooted in Ireland, gifted worldwide. There you go, friends. Buried in Ireland, so you don't have to be. That's the memorial tree from Tree Deeds. Check it out. Lots of other great trees there. Trees for every occasion. They say that money doesn't grow on trees, but love does. So why not show yours by planting a tree in honor of somebody special? Birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, all of that nice stuff. Commemorate the occasion with a tree. How's about that? There you go. That's treedeeds.com. Rooted in Ireland, gifted worldwide. Now, a few other stories in brief, and we still have Margaret's pick of the day as well to share with you, which we'll try not to run out of time for. But anyway, Brendan O'Carroll we have some sad news for you, especially for fans of Mrs. Brown's Boys, and what has become an annual Christmas tradition here in this country for many, many years. After people get done with their Christmas dinner and their turkey and that kind of stuff, they sit down and with their bellies full, they get lots of belly laughs from Mrs. Brown's Boys, which every year they have the Christmas edition, always the most watched, or very way up there in the rankings in terms of the ratings, what's viewed on our telly over Christmas is Mrs. Brown's Boys episodes. But this year, I'm sad to tell you, there won't be any, because Brendan O'Carroll has cancelled this year's Mrs. Brown's Boys Christmas and New Year specials after being told he needs immediate surgery for what he described as an unexpected medical issue. Didn't go into too much detail beyond that. The comedian, he's 70 now, and he created, not only did he create it, but he stars in the hit sitcom, you know the one I'm on about, Mrs. Brown's Boys, and he's himself portrays Mrs. Brown. And actually that came about as an accident. The person that was supposed to do it at the time, way back when they started out on this journey, is very successful, what has become a very successful journey of Mrs. Brown's Boys. The person that was supposed to do Mrs. Brown's Boys didn't work out for whatever reason, or didn't show up, so he says, screw it, I'll do it myself. And of course, turns out he was pretty good in the role. Anyway, as I say, he said in a statement that a CT scan had found 2 fractures in his jaw that required surgery and several months of recovery, meaning the recordings could not go ahead. And he said the decision had not been taken lightly and had been made on the advice of his consultant. And he said he was heartbroken, or to say that he was heartbroken was the understatement of the year, and apologised to fans who had been looking forward to the shows and for the disappointment caused. And we do look forward to it. Margaret pretends she doesn't like it, but she's laughing. There's a little bit of bad language in it, you see. But anyway, there you go. Brendan O'Carroll also confirmed that his Mrs. Brown's Boys DePanto shows in Dublin and Killarney due to take place this year would be postponed as well. So there you go. MTD Productions are working to reschedule them for 2027. So that's, unfortunately, the Mrs. Brown's Boys special this Christmas. You'll have to go without. It's going to be a case of reruns, I think. But anyway, there you go. We wish Brendan O'Carroll well, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. Two fractures in his jaw. It sounds like somebody punched him. Who knows? We'll have to wait to find out a little bit more. A little bit of crack USA news. U.S. President Donald Trump has claimed large areas of dead grass at the National Mall in Washington were caused by vandals. Yeah, nothing to do with that big UFC thing that he was holding there. It comes after Trump repeatedly claimed that algae blooms and pool lining in the waters of the Lincoln Memorial Reflection Pool were the result of vandalism. In fact, he tried to have a poor innocent individual locked up for that, and, thankfully, logic and common sense prevailed there. But anyway, on Truth Social, Trump shared an aerial image of the grass of the National Mall, which appeared to have large dead patches in the area that he held his July 4th celebration. Anyway, the madness continues. That's the latest from across the pond. The Donald. A little bit of other news, since we're talking about people not feeling too well. Dolly Parton was forced to miss out on a public appearance on doctor's orders. So, of course, the weekend, the country music legend was set to visit Dollywood. That's her theme park. Yes, Dolly has her own theme park. Lots of rides and stuff like that, and roller coasters and all the rest of it. But she was supposed to be there to launch a brand new roller coaster over the course of the weekend. But she was feeling dizzy, a little bit dizzy. Her world was going round and round and round and round and round in circles, and she wasn't feeling too well. So the doctor said, you can't go along. And so she sent a video message instead. She's 80 years old now, but we love Dolly, so we thought we'd, share the news with you and hope that she will be that she'll be well soon. There you go. That's Dolly Parton. Couldn't go to her theme park, Dollywood, because she was a little bit dizzy. Alrighty, globalirishradio.com and the Daily Crack, that little program each day around about 3 to 4. Where we keep you connected here with Mother Ireland. Margaret's been busy picking out her piece of the day for you today. And it's all to do with, it's the kind of thing you'd expect from Margaret, really. Children in Ireland value meaningful conversations and spending quality time with the people they love more than material things. That's what new research has revealed. This research, this study, this story caught Margaret's eyes or her attention earlier on today. Sometimes we get caught up in, the notion that things and that kind of thing are more important to youngsters, and we give them tablets, we give them gifts, that they can touch and hold, and but really what they need is love. Get my drift? Love is what they need. Anyway, the study was commissioned commissioned by Heinz and Bernardo's, which are charity, Bernardo's is a kids' charity here in this country. They joined forces for the 5th year of the Heinz Means Meals. That's Heinz Means Meals. Limited edition packs of Heinz beans which support Bernardo's breakfast clubs. And, that kind of thing. A commercial endeavour behind it all, as is the case with many of these studies. But anyway, Bernardo's is the children's charity here in this country, and they got together with Heinz and they carried out this research. And what are the things that kids value the most? Well, the study revealed that, and we have them right here for you. The top things kids value in time with adults. Having fun and laughing together, 39%. That topped the list of things that kids value in time with their elders and with their family. Next, making happy memories together. Nothing beats making happy memories, again at 39%. Feeling closer to them, 35%. Hearing family stories at 35%. Yes, straight from the mouth, not from a tablet. From their loved ones, from their granny, their granddad. That kind of thing. And doing fun activities together, maybe going for a walk, going for a stroll, going to the playground. At 6, simply spending time together, just being together. And at number 7, learning about their family's past, their history, their family tree. You get the drift? And then at 8, learning family traditions. Family traditions. Taking silverware to the restaurant if you're a germaphobe. And at number 9, getting advice when they need it. As a column said to us once upon a time, advice is best sought. But when it is sought, getting advice when it's needed. You don't want to dish it out unless it's requested. And then, at number 10, learning from the things they have done, learning from their elders' experience. So these are the top things that kids value in their time with adults, more so than, gifts of a tangible nature. So bear that in mind. Again, it's the results of that survey and that research carried out by Heinz in association with the children's charity Bernardo's here in this country. Food for thought. Beans for thought. Beans indeed for thought. And since we bring up beans, let us tell you that beans are good for you. They make you live longer, particularly if you are a man. Yep, the old playground rhyme was right. Beans are good for your heart. Not making this up, and why would you want to, as Willie Kelly would say. Beans are good for your heart, and never mind, there are certain unwanted gassy side effects, sure, but if you're a man, beans can help you live longer. Yes, they can, so keep that in mind. For women, similar heart healthy benefits can be found in vegetables such as broccoli. So for the women who want to live longer, broccoli is the solution there. Get your hands on some broccoli. And for the men, it's the beans, like the likes of French beans or any of that stuff will possibly... Now, don't hold us to it, but it should give you longer life. So count the beans and the calories. But that's good news there for you, finishing up our program this Monday here on Global Irish Radio. We'll be having a guest later this week. Baseball is coming home to Ireland, and Ryan Flynn is the CEO. Baseball Ireland has appointed a new CEO to bring baseball home and to ignite interest in the sport and to put it on the map. So the time, it couldn't be coming at a better time, as we're talking about the brightness and the golden era of things in terms of athletics here in this country and sport in general. And why not baseball? Well, we'll find out from Ryan later in the week. He's a newly appointed CEO of baseball by Baseball Ireland. We'll find out what all that's about later in the week, so stay tuned for that one. And if you can listen live, as always, dailycrack.com. The Three Amigos, they're in the news, and a little bit of, I suppose, bad news in the sense that they announced that their upcoming tour, which was to kick off early in the new year, I think, has been cancelled. There is trouble in the Three Amigos, or as the headline in the Sunday World said yesterday, Adios Amigos. It appears that the Three Amigos, Jimmy Buckley, Robert Mazzal, and Patrick Feeney, going their separate ways, at least for now, and the tour has been shelved. So a lot of, I suppose, disappointed fans. Certainly that seems to be the case, looking at the social media and the reaction to the news that the tour has been cancelled. That's a lot for today, friends. As always, thank you for sharing some time with us here on the program. Join us back here, if you can, on Wednesday. Again, we'll be here 3 to 4, and bring you all the latest news and the headlines, the chitter-chat of the nation, the lighter side of the news, top trending stories, and music as well. And as always, if there's something you want to hear or you want to get in touch, studio@gir.ie will do just that. It's been great being with you this Monday. We'll leave you with the Three Amigos now, and I think it's a Johnny Cash medley we've lined up for you. We'll talk to you on Wednesday. And thanks to Margaret, as always, helping out in the background. Happy Monday. On a Monday, I was arrested. On a Tuesday, they locked me in the cell. On a Wednesday, my trial was attested. On a Thursday, they said guilty, and the judge's gavel fell. I got stripes around my shoulder. I got chains around my feet. I got stripes around my shoulder. And them chains, they're about to drag me down. On a Monday, my mama come to see me. On Tuesday, they caught me with a fire. On a Wednesday, I'm down in solitary. On a Thursday, I started bread and water for a while.
show me.